How many of you are frustrated with all the changes that happen in social media, right? It is hard to keep up to date. It's hard to keep track. What's the algorithm doing this week? What's working this? How come I'm not getting, any more follows? How come my likes are not what they used to be? It's frustrating. We get it. We're living it with you, right? But one thing that we do know is you have to stay connected to it. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about what's in and what's out when it comes to social media so you can maximize your strategy for 2024. Welcome to the Salon Scoop, a podcast by Salon S.O.S. I'm your host, Scott Moon, the founder of Salon S.O.S, and I'm obsessed with helping salon professionals live their best life. In this show, we shop talk all things salon to bring you real-life stories, debates, entertainment, and inspiration to help you find happiness and success in this beautiful industry. If you work in the salon industry in any capacity, this podcast is open to you. So set down your scissors or rinse out that toner and let's get into it. Welcome, everybody, to another episode. Thanks for joining us today on the Salon Scoop. We have got a fun episode for you today, the joys of social media. And with me to chat about it is our resident social media expert and content creator for Salon S.O.S, Sarah Perrin. Sarah, how are you doing today?
Oh, I can't complain too much. How are you doing, Scott?
Good, good, good. You ready to share some social media wisdom with our listeners?
Yes, I also just realized I just blatantly lied because all I did for the first half of our conversation was complain about this specific topic. So I'm like, I can't complain, but I still will. So I'm really stoked to dive into this topic.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're not alone. A lot of people complain about social media, right? And we all seem to have this love-hate relationship with it. And we're going to try to break down for everybody today and get the scoop on what's in and what's out when it comes to social media so that you can try to capitalize on some of the things that are trending, that are performing better, and that you can avoid some of the things that are no longer working and not serving you. So I'm going to start us off and really focus on what's out. What are some of the things that are not working anymore, right? We've flipped the page on a new calendar year. So let's leave some stuff behind. And the first thing that we should be leaving behind is overuse of stock images, right? If you rely too heavily on just like generic stock imagery, it kind of just makes you a little bit impersonal, right? Unoriginal. So find a way to, well, we'll talk about what's in and how to do that, but obviously you want to get more personalized, real images and content from your business to work. Second thing is an excessive use of filters and editing in your photos, right? That's out. That's not even 2003. That's like 2018, 19, 20 maybe. The challenge for us is that there's more and more apps and editing features and filters, and you can remove things. I got a new phone where I can literally delete stuff in photos. It's amazing using AI, but you want to be careful in terms of what you present on social media because excessive filtering is out. You don't want to have an unrealistic representation. Authenticity still rules, and you want to make sure that stays clear in your images. Third thing of what's out is to be still ignoring video content and just relying on images and regular posts. Video is just taking over more and more space in the attention, right, that's happening online. People are more drawn to video. So if you are ignoring it still, you are out. You're falling behind.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm calling you are the weakest link. I'm calling you out. At home plate, baseball umpire, you've got to be incorporating more videos into your strategy. All right. Fourth thing that's out is aggressive promotions, right? Too much sort of quote unquote advertising or talking about your promotions only. right? Bombarding your audience with constant messages about your what's on special and what your values are. That leads to frustration. People don't want to be sold to through their social media. Remember, if you go onto your phone and scroll through, you're there to get updates, see what's there. You're not there because you want to see a whole bunch of ads. And that does cause a bit of a problem. I get it, because we want people to know, what our promotions are and what's featured and what's on sale. You just have to be cautious. You should never have more than 20% of your content being promotional. And the more that you can make it almost like subliminal, let's say,
Yeah.
right? So talk about education, talk about tutorial, and then something that can help with that could be a product. But you're not there just saying, hey, 20% off this product this month. You're incorporating a product into a tip or a tutorial, and now you are promoting your products that you're using or a service at the same time.
Can I
All right,
add something onto that, Scott, that I just think is so important for salons in particular?
go for it.
This is not just promoting products. This is also if your entire feed is all hair. People don't want to just see, right? Because that's promoted, like, and it doesn't feel like that. It just shows more like, like this is what I did and this is what I can do. It is pushing like this constant, like, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. So even now I'm finding if I'm looking on salon or hairstylist page and I'm just scrolling and it's just hair, I'm out. Like, it's boring, right? So keep that in mind too. It's not just like, oh, buy this product, but it's also just the constant hair photos and no variation between that, right? It's important to include that, but it can't be your only strategy.
Love that. Thanks for adding that in. All right, next one that's out is neglecting user-generated content, right? User-generated content is content that's created by others, right? Maybe your followers, maybe your clients. So that means if you're neglecting it, you're losing a potential of great content that actually is made by others and is therefore often more relevant, whether it's client testimonials, whether they are sharing, an image of them with their great new hair or nails that they got done in your salon. If you utilize that, it's amazing social proof, right? And you didn't have to create it. So if you're neglecting this content, you're kind of really missing out on something. So something to really watch out for. Next thing that's out is just having a lack of personalization. It ties in a little bit to my first message, about overuse of stock images. People are expecting, personalized, tailored, customized experiences in all aspects of life today. So if you don't have enough personalization in your social media, you're really missing out. Think about targeting, right? And that sometimes could be having messages that really speak to specific groups of people, right? You gotta really identify who your target market is in a defined way. You can't just say, oh yeah, we try to talk to all women between the ages of 18 and 55 that care about beautiful hair. Like, you really gotta zone in on like who your target is and connect with them on a personal level, whether they have challenges with their curly hair, whether they have challenges with time because they're stressed out in their life, and you can solve their problems. Make it personalized, okay? Because being a lack of that is definitely out. All right, another thing that's out is disregarding new platforms and just staying stuck in your old ways, right? We've all been on Instagram now for a while, but are you on TikTok yet? If you're not, you're disregarding a platform that's really big. It's not just teenagers doing dance videos anymore. TikTok is a real platform with a massive audience that is being used for all sorts of, brands and features. So you don't want to be disregarding these platforms, because that's where the new eyeballs are going, right? Less and less people are looking at just traditional Instagram posts, and people are now gravitating towards video, like we talked about. So very important to stay connected to that. Definitely out is insufficient engagement. That's been a big problem in the past. People just not engaging enough on content. We always are wondering why we're not getting enough likes and comments on our posts. It's because we're not engaging and commenting and liking on other people's posts. You have to go both way. So it's definitely out to be lacking that engagement. Make sure that you're constantly in your feeds. And then lastly, I would say that it's out to be ignoring the analytics and insights that are there for you and just posting for the sake of posting and hoping, right? It's almost like the spray and pray mentality. Don't ignore the data. The data is there to help you make better decisions, right, about what's working and what's not working so that you can try new things and then actually see concretely if it's working or not, and just having your own subjective opinion of what's good or what's not good. All right, those are all the things on the out list. Those are on the naughty list, let's say. Sarah, why don't you brighten up the mood here and tell us what's in 2024? What should we be doing more of?
I got you. I got you with what's in. So the first thing that's in is personalized content. So I know that we're kind of more so talking about social media right now, and that you kind of talked about the not personalized content, but I feel like it's important to tailor content specifically for individual clients. So like utilizing customer data to offer personalized recommendations, promotions, and relevant content on social media platforms. So even as much as obviously it's one of those things when you're making a post, you're not going to hit every single, person that follows you. You're not going to hit them right in the feels, or that's their pain point or anything like that. But what if you tag one of your clients in hair, like, I think this would look gorgeous on you, or there's a product that comes up and you know what, this is what I was telling you about, this would help your curls stay intact all day, or whatever it is, kind of thing. Just being a little bit more personalized, even just like with your tags on social media. But then just to like kind of carry that over onto a little bit more of like the digital marketing side with email marketing, text marketing, everything like that. Create these campaigns that are specifically for groups of clients. You don't always have to be hitting everybody with your, color specials or your haircut specials. It's like, break these down into smaller groups of people and have a personalized message, a personalized punch kind of come towards them. So just being a little bit more aware that you're not just marketing to the masses, but having some little like bite-sized things that you can kind of send to each individual person as well. So that's in. We're into that. Another thing, like you said, was video marketing dominance. So long form video is said to be a big trend for 2024. The algorithms are going to be favoring, long form videos, everything like that. But even like you said, Scott, just with the like, if you're ignoring videos completely, it's like, it's an out. Take things that would typically be photo posts that you would make, like a static photo post, and create it into a video instead. So instead of it just being, a regular picture of your client's hair after, what if it's a 360 video showing the entire, circumference of the head? So it's like there's so many ways that you can incorporate video without, it being a big to-do kind of thing, but just really concentrating on video and not just static posting.
Love it. I want to throw one quick idea in
Yeah.
here that combines the first two. So personalized content and how video is so important. Think
Yeah.
about when you're doing DMs with people, right? Maybe you get a question from a client about something. Rather than just like typing, your answer, send them a quick video reply, right? Like
Yeah.
reply to them and speak to it in video. It's personalized. They're going to feel so much more connected. It's unique, and it's really capitalizing on the video trend. Just wanted to throw that out there as something that I've seen really getting a lot of traction lately.
I like that. Or even like, again, like a voice note or something like that,
At
right?
least, yeah. Voice
Not
note
a
is
talk,
great. Video
not
is
a
even
talk to
better.
text. I hate talk to text. You never know what anybody's saying. But like an actual voice note, just being like, hey, I just figured it would be easier if you could hear, the tone of my voice and everything like that to explain this to you, whatever it is. Just a cute little personalized touch. So what else is in for 2024 is influencer collaborations. We have talked this to death. I feel like we've had different podcasts about this, different blogs about this, but I am a really big fan of influencer collaborations. So partnering with influencers who align with your salon brand can greatly increase visibility and reach within your target demographics. So you want to seek out individuals in the beauty industry or local micro influencers to promote your salon services. So This is something that we have at the salon where we've got, a salon ambassador. And again, we both just have, pretty similar values and what we stand for and everything like that. So instead of my message just making it out to my audience, it also makes it out to her audience. And then, there's that cross collaboration that happens. So influencer marketing, if I didn't talk it to death last year, I'm going to talk it to death this year. I feel like it's an important thing and it's very in for salons for this year. Okay, another thing, and I'm sure, again, this is not new news or anything like that. It's just something that we definitely need to concentrate on in 2024 is social commerce integration. So e-commerce integration on social platforms will expand further in 2024, allowing customers to make purchases directly through apps like Instagram or Facebook. So you want to make sure that all of your products are easily accessible for purchase via these channels, and that these channels are set up to link with your e-commerce website as well. So just another thing that's important to know, not enough just to post the picture of the product, but you want to have that link to be able to purchase that on your website right after as well.
For sure.
Another thing that's going to be big, and I know we talked about this in another podcast episode, is live streaming events. So live streaming events such as hairstyling tutorials, product launches, question and answer sessions will continue gaining popularity as they provide real-time engagement opportunities with your audience. So again, just another, it doesn't necessarily have to be this big event that you're hosting as a live, but maybe you talk to a client before and you say, look, I know we're doing a big change today. Would you be cool if we did segments of it on live so people can see what our consultation looks like and what questions you have to ask and what the whole process looks like, right? So many opportunities in the salon. Like, people love to know what's going on behind the scenes, behind the chair. So hit record. If it flops, just don't do it again, right? So like there's not really any consequences to trying these things. So
Yeah, and there's not really a flop ultimately. Like, you
yeah.
know what? It's one post, one time out of like thousands and thousands and millions of posts that are being posted on the platform that day. Like, don't take things too big in your head that, oh my gosh, I'm putting this live and the whole world is going to see that I screwed this up. It's not going to
It's
be.
not that. I never want this to come across the wrong way, but I say this a lot at work. It's like, you're not that important. People don't care that much. Like, I'm like, they're too busy caring about themselves to be worried about what you're doing, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
again, don't let that's what's out for 2024, is giving too many shits about how well something performs, right? So okay, so another thing that's really in, and I've noticed a huge difference, and we actually have another podcast about this topic as well, but sustainability messaging. Consumers are increasingly conscious of the environmental impact and sustainability practices when choosing businesses to support. So showcase any eco-friendly initiatives or cruelty-free products in your digital marketing efforts. So I know personally for my salon, I'm like, we do so many cool things to be a more sustainable business. We are a green circle salon. Every product line that we bring in has, sustainability efforts and all of these things. Like, we do a lot of really cool things on the back end that none of my clients know about because I never think to post about it, right? So I'm going to be making a huge effort to be kind of educating our guests on what we're doing and why they should come to us and why we are trying to make a difference in the environment and everything. So that's another big one. And then second to last is micro targeting strategies. So this was kind of what I was talking about at the top, with instead of trying to reach a mass group of people, having a little bit more of a targeted message to specific clients, right? So we've kind of preached this from the beginning of time. If you're not targeting or if you're targeting everyone, you're not targeting anyone, right? So just being a little bit more tight with your message and hitting a specific pain point as opposed to trying to reach the masses and have them understand your message. So and then last but certainly not least, and Scott touched on this on what's out, but what's in is utilizing user-generated content. like you said, Scott, there's really no downfall for it. It's somebody else doing the work for you. It's a different way to create trust with your existing audience because, I mean, you could listen to me talk about how great I am all the time, but it definitely is going to hit home if, you know, somebody else comes up and say, no, she actually is great, right? So again, just like really taking advantage of not only, you know, client testimonials and before and afters and stuff, but client selfies, right? Like there's all sorts of things that you can kind of take advantage of. So user generated content is in for 2024.
And I'm going to share one more thing that's definitely in 2024, and that's listening to the Salon Scoop podcast.
Hell yeah, it is.
You are listening right now, and you are part of the in crowd. As one of the fastest growing podcasts in the salon industry, we're super happy to have you on board. And the reality is that all of these digital, you know, things, they change very, very quickly. So what's in today could be out tomorrow. Highly encourage you to stay connected to us. We like to talk about it here on the podcast. We have blog articles. We have all sorts of obviously tips and tricks on our social media constantly. We've got YouTube videos. I would encourage you to make sure that you're connected to us. You can sign up for our VIP newsletter list where we update you on every time that we do release, you know, new content about some of these things. You can easily subscribe on our website, www.salonsos.ca. Stay connected to know what's happening, what's changing. It is an ever-changing world, and we're here as your experts to try to break it down as best that we can to give you the ultimate tool package to be successful with your digital, your social media in 2024 and beyond. Hope you learned something from today's episode, everyone. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you on our next episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Salon Scoop podcast. This show is produced by Salon S.O.S, a digital marketing agency by industry professionals for industry professionals. If you want simple and affordable solutions for any of your salon marketing needs, such as websites, client loyalty, Google search rankings, social media, or more, come visit us at salonsos.ca or on Instagram at salon.s.o.s. If you want to hear more episodes like this and help us continue to bring the industry great content, it would mean so much to us if you would support us in one of the following ways. Either share this episode with one other industry professional, and rate the show on Spotify or write us a quick review on Apple Music. We want to hear your feedback. If you have follow-up questions or ideas for future episodes, please reach out. DM us on Instagram at salonus.s.o.s or hit us up on our website again at salonsos.ca. Again, thanks so much for listening. Now go get your hustle on, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on our next episode.